Well, we're in the final days before the ANC's elective conference. It's been fairly eventful. Professor Amanda Gouws is a distinguished professor in political science at the University of Stellenbosch. Professor Gouws, good evening to you, and thank you very much indeed for your time. We see what seems to be quite a tense period just before the conference. We've seen this kind of thing before. We saw it 5 years ago at Newzroom in 2017. We arguably saw it before the Polokwane conference in 2007. Is this time different to what we've seen in the past?
Well, it's different in the sense that President Ramaphosa is running for a second term. With the 2017, Zuma's term was at an end. He's already been a two-term president. And in that case, the difference between Ramaphosa and Dlamini Zuma was very small. I mean, President Ramaphosa then won with a very small margin of votes. So this time going into or up to the Palapala report, he was the front runner. He had more than 2,000 votes from branches. Now, since the Palapala report, of course, he doesn't know what his support looks like, and neither do we. So it is quite different in the sense that he was the front runner, and now it's quite unclear.
I mean, Polokwane was difficult to predict in advance. Mangaung was relatively easy. We kind of knew that then President Zuma would win. Newzroom was difficult to predict. Is this suddenly falling into the difficult to predict category when 2 weeks ago we expected it to be rather easy?
Well, I think that, the ANC has now told its members to toe the party line, and that they, in the NEC and in the working group, at least, that they should not vote for impeachment. So it may stand him in a good stead, but I do think there are already members like Suprapho Mapelo and Mervyn Dirks who are saying they are going to vote for impeachment. So I think it is actually, maybe in the category of difficult to predict.
It seems in a way that the ANC is almost, I'm not sure what the right word is, maybe fragile might be the right English word. I've seen some commentary almost predicting some kind of disruption. We've seen people in the ANC talking about how frustrated they are with the state of the ANC. How do you see it? I mean, could the ANC come out of this conference almost more fragile than it is now?
Well, it's always been divided. I mean, and more so since the Zuma governance, where we have very clearly defined factions. And we see now, in the struggles in the run-up to the electoral conference, the elective conference, that these factions are, one faction trying to stay in power and the other, the radical economic transformation faction trying to gain power. So I do think that in the run-up to the election, we will see an outcome that's going to divide the ANC more. It's going to come out more fragile. And what Ramaphosa has done over the weekend, now that he's decided, I mean, at one point he was actually going to step down, but he was convinced not to step down. So he's coming out very hard again on the campaign of the ANC renewal and anti-corruption. And the question is he saying this because he wants to make quite a strong stand now, or is he saying this as a man who has now got nothing to lose? And so, coming out of this, I don't think it will be a united ANC. I think it will be more divided, and we will go into the 2024 election in a way that's actually not going to be a stronger ANC, and we're going to see those factional fights and infighting playing itself out in how the list will be prepared for the 2024 election. Sorry, that's my cat. He's trying to push the computer off. That the 2024 election, we will see that those infighting again plays itself out, And it's not going to be united ANC that comes out of that election, and it's going to have the same type of governance problems that we've seen all along. And unless the ANC gets a handle on corruption and the ANC on clean governance, I think the South African citizens are really fed up with the ANC. And this may lead to a situation where the ANC does not get 50% of the vote, so we will have to go into coalition governance, and we see already on the local government level that we're not doing well with coalition governance. So I don't think this is boding well for either this elective conference or the 2024 election.
I think some people hope for some kind of, movement where somehow there's some kind of result of unity at the ANC conference, that it sort of comes back to be the movement they remember it to be. Is that impossible?
I think it's really naive. I think it is impossible because we don't have an ANC that we saw that came into power 94 united, that had still got good leaders who were interested in governing, not in their own self-interest and how to line their pockets. That's gone. Unless we concentrate on a younger generation. I think people like Ronald Lamola, Phoebe Potgieter, Mamaloka Kubai, they I think will be good leaders if they get a chance to govern and to lead. But this old guard of the ANC does not want to give up on power. And the longer they stay in power, the more dire the circumstances become. So, I really think that there's no going back to the past. It's now for a future generation of leaders to lead the ANC.
Professor Amanda Gouws, Distinguished Professor in Political Science at the University of Stellenbosch, really do appreciate the time. Thank you.